The sky above New Geneva was unusually clear. No storms. No satellite interference. The stars hung in the dark like ancient eyes, watching silently. Beneath them, Earth's most secure military facility hummed with quiet tension. Commander Alex Voss stood inside the command core, deep beneath the city's surface. Tall, broad-shouldered, and always calm under pressure, Alex had spent the last 10 years protecting Earth from threats beyond its atmosphere. The Galactic Coalition had promised peace, but Alex never trusted peace offered by those who valued control more than freedom. The room around him buzzed with activity. Screens displayed real-time space traffic, AI threat analysis, and orbiting drone telemetry. Tech officers monitored the data, fingers flying across glass panels. Alex's second-in-command, Lieutenant Ray Harlow, approached him with a handheld report. "Commander, we've detected a pattern in the deep space surveillance net," Ray said, her voice low but steady. "It's not local. And not random." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Let me see it." Ray tapped her device. A projection appeared in front of them, a string of pulses, too regular to be natural. "Looks like a communication signal," Alex said, frowning. "Encrypted." "Yes. And based on the packet signature," Ray hesitated, then finished, "It's coalition code, sir." Alex's jaw tightened. The Galactic Coalition had always claimed Earth was safe under their alliance. They called Earth a valued partner, but Alex knew better. Earth had never truly bowed to their authority. It was tolerated, not trusted. "Run a deeper scan," he ordered. "Trace the signal's source, and see if any other outposts have picked it up." Ray nodded and moved quickly to her station. Alex turned back to the main screen. The stars seemed a little less peaceful now. An hour passed. Then two. The AI system, known as ORCA, finally spoke in its calm, emotionless voice. "Commander Voss. Signal triangulation complete. Origin, Deep Council Channel. Unauthorized transmission targeting Earth's orbital defense grid." The room fell silent. Alex stared at the screen. "They're trying to access our defense systems remotely," he muttered. Ray looked up, shocked. "Are they launching an attack?" "No," Alex said slowly. "They're not firing weapons. They're sending control code. They want to take over without firing a shot." He paced the room, thinking quickly. Earth's defense grid was complex, run by multiple layers of AI and human oversight. But if the Coalition had found a way to insert an override... "They're planning to shut us down from the inside," he said. "Disable our systems. Force a surrender without war." Ray swallowed hard. "What do we do?" Alex stopped pacing. His voice was steady and calm. "We prepare for war anyway." He called an emergency meeting with Earth's Security Council. In the sealed war room, leaders from Earth's major nations appeared on screens. Faces showed confusion, concern, and doubt. "This is a misreading," said one diplomat. "The Coalition is our ally." "They've been allies because we're useful," Alex replied. "But we've never played by their rules. They want full control. And they've decided now is the time to take it." Some nodded grimly. Others protested. "They wouldn't risk destabilizing Earth," said another voice. "They don't need to," Alex countered. "They'll turn off our weapons, shut down our satellites, lock our AI systems. No invasion needed. No bombs. Just silence. Order. Control." The room fell quiet. "We have less than a week," Alex said. "Maybe less. And no one outside this room needs to know." "Not yet." Ray sent a silent confirmation to ORCA to begin defense lockdown protocols. The AI acknowledged with a blinking green light. As the meeting ended, Alex stood alone in the hallway outside the war room. He looked up at the ceiling, imagining the stars above. Somewhere, far beyond the black, the council was watching. Calculating. "They think Earth is chaos," he whispered to himself. "Let's show them what chaos really means." Light filtered through the crystalline arches of the Coalition's high chamber, casting long, silver beams across the council floor. The chamber floated above the clouds of Viridian Prime, the central world of the Galactic Coalition. From here, the most powerful figures in the galaxy governed billions of lives. Order, balance, predictability. That was their creed. High Chancellor Vorentel sat at the head of the table, his long fingers steepled beneath his chin. His skin was pale blue, his face smooth and still, his eyes cold and calculating. At 218 years old, he had led the council longer than any being in history. His mind functioned like the most advanced logic engine ever built. No emotion, no doubt, only precision. Around him sat 12 council members, each representing a major species in the coalition. They listened in silence as Voren projected a holographic image above the table. Earth. spinning in isolation. Untamed, unaligned. We have monitored Earth's resistance to unification for over a century, Vorin began, his voice slow and measured. Despite full membership in the coalition, they remain non-compliant. A red pulse appeared on the hologram, indicating the override signal currently en route to Earth's defense grid. We offered peace, technology, stability, yet they continue to operate outside standard protocols. Their unpredictability poses a threat, not just to themselves, but to the order we've built. A counselor with feathered skin leaned forward. Is the override functional? It is already in progress, Vorin replied. Their systems will fall in stages, one by one. By the time they understand what's happening, their power will be gone. Quietly, efficiently, without violence. Another counselor, with translucent skin and glowing veins, spoke. Is force truly unnecessary? We do not conquer, Vorin said flatly. We correct. Earth must learn that chaos is unsustainable. When their weapons shut down and their sky goes blind, they will see the logic of order. The council approved the plan without further debate. Vorin stood and walked to the chamber's edge, staring into the soft golden sky beyond the glass. To him, Earth was not evil. It was broken. Humans were intelligent, yes, but driven by impulse, emotion, and conflict. They refused structure, refused submission. That made them dangerous. He remembered their history, war after war, ideology against ideology, defiance against even their own leaders. The council had always tolerated them, believing time would bring change. It hadn't. Now, action was required. Begin full transmission of the override sequence, he ordered. Do not alert Earth. They will resist if they know. Let them sleep until their walls fall down. Across the stars, deep within the Coalition's transmission network, a silent command spread like invisible lightning. It entered the edges of Earth's defense systems, dormant at first, then slowly weaving its way toward the core. Back on Earth, inside New Geneva's command core, Commander Alex Voss stared at a frozen screen. One of the outer satellites, Echo 9, had stopped responding. It was just the beginning. Lieutenant Ray Harlow rushed to his side. Sir, we've lost contact with 2 more satellites. No damage reports. It's like they just shut off. Alex leaned forward, jaw tight. They're testing the override slowly. He turned toward ORCA, the defense AI that monitored Earth's entire security grid. ORCA, status on system integrity. Multiple outer ring satellites unresponsive, the AI replied. No sign of attack. Likely internal failure. Alex shook his head. No, not internal. They're turning the system off piece by piece. We're being dismantled. Ray's eyes widened. We need to tell the council. No, Alex said sharply. They already know. This is the council. He moved to a private console and activated a hidden subchannel, a classified network that connected him to Earth's most secure data archive. There, he began searching for something, a backup plan, an alternative system, anything not tied to the Coalition's architecture. They planned for order, he murmured. But Earth doesn't run on order. We survive on something they don't understand. He didn't finish the thought. But deep inside, Alex knew exactly what humanity's strength was, not logic, not unity, not compliance. It was chaos. Far above, High Chancellor Vorintel closed his eyes and listened to the hum of machines around him. By the time they wake up, he said to no one, they'll already be silent. A dull red light blinked inside the command core beneath New Geneva. 3 more satellites had gone dark overnight. Not destroyed, just offline. No impact. No explosion. Just silence. Commander Alex Voss stood in front of the central data display, arms crossed, eyes sharp. The Coalition's silent weapon was moving faster now. What started as a slow crawl had become a quiet sweep across Earth's orbital grid. The override code was unfolding like a spider's web, reaching deeper every hour. Lieutenant Ray Harlow approached with a report in her hand. Sir, we've confirmed it. The override has breached the lower defense ring. The orbital cannons above Asia and Europe are offline. Alex took a deep breath. And the Coalition still hasn't said a word. No communication. Nothing official. It's like they want us to figure it out too late. Alex nodded grimly. That's exactly what they wanted. Earth's leadership remained split. Many still clung to the belief that the Galactic Coalition would never act with malice. To them, the Coalition was peace, stability in a chaotic universe. But Alex had spent his career studying the quiet moves of power. He had seen what order looked like from those who ruled by control. Now, Earth was hours, maybe days, away from total disarmament. Alex called an emergency meeting in the underground war room. The space was cold, built into the bedrock beneath New Geneva, safe from orbit and shielded from interference. Around the long table sat trusted military leaders, defense engineers, and Dr. Mira Elon, Earth's leading AI systems specialist. The override is spreading faster, Alex said, pointing to a projected map. Within 48 hours, our satellites, rail cannons, and AI-controlled drones will all be offline. General Okada frowned. Why haven't we shut the system down ourselves? Because we can't, Dr. Elon answered. The override is threaded through coalition protocols we adopted decades ago. If we shut down now, we may never reboot. It's not just shutting off our weapons, it's taking control of them. One of the commanders looked around the room nervously. Do we have a countermeasure? There was a pause. Then Dr. Elon spoke again. There's one possibility. It's not approved. Not tested. Not safe. Alex turned to her. Explain. She brought up a file titled Project Disorder. It had a warning label across it. Unstable system. Do not activate without full containment. It was a side project, she said. Built after the coalition introduced its central AI framework. We knew a backdoor could be possible, so we designed a system to inject chaos into our defense network. Random behaviors. Unpredictable commands. A controlled loss of structure. You build a virus? Someone asked. No, she replied. I built a disruptor. A way to confuse any logic-based override system. Alex stepped closer. You're saying it won't block the override. It'll confuse it? Yes. The coalition's systems rely on predictability. Every signal, every command, is based on logic trees and clean outcomes. Project Disorder would make Earth's systems unpredictable, even to us. But it might give us back control, by destroying control. Silence filled the room. If we do this, General Okada said, we risk disabling our own defenses permanently. And if we don't, Alex replied, we lose everything anyway. There was no vote. No time. Alex gave the order. Prep the system, he told Dr. Elon. Isolate what you can, but load it. We'll decide when to trigger it. Later that night, Alex walked through the quiet halls of the command center. Screens dimmed. Systems on standby. The AI's voice no longer answered him immediately. That, more than anything, made the silence louder. He stopped in front of a large observation window. Outside, Earth's sky was peaceful. But above that calm blue curve, machines were falling asleep, one by one. He remembered something his father once told him. If they ever try to take Earth from the inside, don't fight their rules. Break them. Behind him, Ray entered the room. Sir, she said quietly, we've lost another 2 satellites. Inner ring this time. Alex didn't turn around. How long until the entire grid is offline? 24 hours. Maybe less. He nodded. Get me the team. We're running out of time. Far above, in the orbit of Viridian Prime, High Chancellor Vorentel stood before a quiet screen of his own. The override sequence glowed green. Progress, 72%. Earth will go dark, he whispered. Then he closed his eyes and smiled. The launch room was quiet, too quiet for what was about to happen. Deep inside Earth's command core, a heavy steel door hissed open as Commander Alex Foss entered the secured vault that housed Project Disorder. The lights above flickered for a moment, an eerie reminder that the Coalition's override was still creeping through the systems. Another 2 orbital cannons had gone silent overnight. Communications with high-altitude drones had dropped to 30%. The defense net was dying. Standing beside the main console was Dr. Mira Elon, her eyes sharp but tired. For the past 10 hours, she had worked nonstop, prepping the unstable code she had once sworn would never be used. On a reinforced screen beside her, a status bar read, "Ready for deployment." "Commander," she said, not looking away from the code, "once we release this, there's no going back." Alex stepped up beside her. "We're already past the point of return." Mira turned to him. "You understand what this will do, right? Our systems won't behave like ours anymore. They won't follow logic. They won't respond to standard commands. They'll act like us," Alex replied. "Unpredictable. Erratic. Human." She hesitated for just a second, then nodded. Ray Harlow entered the chamber, breath slightly uneven. "We just lost the East Pacific satellite net," she reported. "Coalition override has reached our upper atmosphere surveillance AI. At this rate, they'll shut down global response capability in 6 hours." Alex looked at Mira. She typed in the final command. A prompt blinked on screen. "Activate Project Disorder?" Alex didn't wait. He pressed yes. The change wasn't instant. At first, it looked like a glitch. Radar systems flickered, then rebooted, showing false data, then correcting themselves. Drone formations broke rank, scattered, then regrouped in new patterns. Automated turrets turned briefly offline, then rotated faster than normal, tracking multiple targets at once, even ones that weren't threats. ORCA, Earth's Central Defense AI, began to speak in broken fragments. Override, signal, rerouting, error, new pattern detected, logic tree compromised. Inside the command core, officers stared at their screens, confused and tense. "What's happening?" one whispered. Mira leaned over the console, watching closely. "It's working. It's rewriting command pathways. The override isn't being blocked, it's being confused." Ray pointed to the live feed from Earth's outer orbit. "Commander, look." A coalition scout ship had entered low orbit, part of the planned occupation fleet. It sent a signal to the Earth grid. This time, instead of submitting to control, the defense net responded with thousands of micropulses, no pattern, no readable logic. The coalition ship stopped, then backed off. "They can't process the response," Mira said with a hint of shock. "Our system's gone nonlinear. The override can't find a foothold." Alex's voice was calm. "That's the point." Across the stars, in the high chamber on Viridian Prime, alarms began to sound. High Chancellor Vorentel opened his eyes and turned to the main operations screen. He saw data coming from Earth's defense grid, but it was unreadable. Command pathways had collapsed into randomized loops. Responses made no sense. The Earth system wasn't rejecting the override. It was playing with it. "What is this?" one of the council technicians shouted. "They've corrupted their own AI?" "No," Voren said quietly. "They've released something worse, chaos." He tapped a control panel, trying to push a correction signal. Nothing. The system rejected it outright. Their own override code had begun to tangle in recursive loops. Earth's defense systems now operated on unpredictability. "No logic means no control," he murmured. A red alert lit up the chamber. Coalition fleet unable to establish control protocol with Earth. Back on Earth, the command core transformed into a hive of strange behavior. Systems lit up with unexpected outputs. Drones changed positions mid-flight, running on a new kind of instinct. Communications lines flickered with jumbled signals that only Earth's AI now understood. Ray looked at Alex. "It's like we woke something up." Alex nodded. "We didn't wake it. We built it, just in case." "Sir," another officer called out, "we're detecting 3 coalition landing ships in descent. Looks like they're proceeding with occupation." Alex's eyes narrowed. "They still think we're vulnerable." He turned to Mira. "Can our systems defend automatically?" She checked the output. "Yes, but not how we'd expect. It won't be clean." "Doesn't have to be clean," Alex said. "It just has to be us." The landing ships entered Earth's lower atmosphere, but as they neared, Earth's defenses came alive. Defense drones scattered, split, and circled unpredictably. Laser turrets fired in brief, erratic bursts, not following formation, but striking targets faster than standard protocols would allow. Within minutes, the coalition ships retreated, not because they were outgunned, but because they were outmatched in behavior. Earth had become unreadable. Alex watched the live feed, expression unreadable. They wanted order. "We gave them a storm." In Viridian Prime, Vorentel stood in silence. The override sequence flashed red. Failed. A single message appeared from Earth. Unsolvable variable detected. His hands curled slowly into fists. "Send a transmission," he said coldly. "To Commander Voss. I want to speak to him now." The transmission request came at 0400 hours. Silent. Direct. No encryption. Sender, High Chancellor Vorentel. Recipient, Commander Alex Voss. Message, immediate contact requested. One-on-one. No intermediaries. Inside Earth's command core, the room stood still. Officers paused. The hum of reprogrammed systems flickered in the background. Lights pulsed with a strange rhythm, like the heartbeat of something newly alive. Commander Alex Voss read the message on the screen, then nodded to Ray. "Patch it through. Secure line. Let's see what order looks like when it's cornered." The screen adjusted, and in seconds, Vorentel appeared. His cold, unblinking eyes met Alex's steady gaze. Behind him, the polished chamber of the Galactic Council gleamed, but the air around him felt strained. "Commander Voss," Voren said, his voice as smooth as glass. "You've introduced instability into the most advanced override system in the galaxy. I must ask, what are you thinking?" Alex leaned forward slightly. You call it instability. We call it survival. Voron's brow furrowed faintly. You injected chaos into your own systems. This is not strategy, it's desperation. No, Alex replied. It's a reminder. Earth doesn't run on your kind of order. You build a perfect plan for a perfect system. But Earth isn't perfect. We never were. That's why your override failed. The Chancellor tilted his head. You understand that logic governs the galaxy. Not impulse. Not emotion. You have sacrificed structure for unpredictability. And in doing so, we regain control, Alex said. Your override is designed to read patterns, not instinct. You were counting on clean reactions. We gave you noise. Voron's face remained unreadable. We offered you peace, Commander. Structure. Unity. Alex stared directly at him. You offered submission. And you were too arrogant to consider that we'd choose the harder road. A pause. Then Voron spoke with a quieter, more dangerous tone. You know what happens next. You've defied the Council directly. We cannot allow such defiance to spread. Alex smiled faintly. Then bring your fleets. But don't expect a war you'll understand. Because here's what you still don't get, Chancellor. He leaned in closer to the screen. Earth doesn't fight fair. We don't follow patterns. We break them. Every time. Within the hour, the Coalition's invasion fleet entered Earth's orbit. Massive cruisers and formation carriers took position over the planet's skies. Each ship held thousands of troops and automated weapons. From a distance, it looked like Earth was surrounded. Inside the command core, Earth's systems were already moving. Project Disorder had evolved, splintering its code across every network. No centralized control. Just nodes reacting in real time, independently, guided by instinct-like AI behaviors. Dr. Mira Elon monitored the shifting data feeds. They're here, she said quietly. We're outnumbered. Outgunned. But not outmatched. Ray stepped beside her. Everything's reacting. Faster than expected. Alex walked into the room, fully suited. Good. Let's finish this. As the first wave of Coalition drones descended into Earth's upper atmosphere, Earth's response was chaos. But it was a designed chaos. Defense drones split from formation, scattered, then circled back in nonlinear paths. Orbital cannons fired at seemingly random angles, only to strike with impossible precision. Satellite systems blinked, went dark, then came alive again in new patterns. Coalition targeting systems failed. Their AI assistants froze, unable to predict movements. Some drones turned on themselves, confused by Earth's misdirection pulses. Voron's fleet fired, but often in empty space, responding to decoys created by Earth's reprogrammed satellites. In New Geneva, Mira laughed under her breath. They're choking on our randomness. Alex watched the battlefield on the screen. They designed the perfect net, he said. But we made ourselves uncatchable. On one feed, a Coalition cruiser began to pull back. Then another. Then three. Confusion spread through their fleet. Their structured hierarchy, so dependent on clean data and chain-of-command precision, began to collapse. They hadn't been defeated by strength. They'd been outmaneuvered by unpredictability. By the time the fifth wave faltered, the Coalition pulled the plug. Retreat signals lit up across Earth's skies. The great ships turned away, blinking out into warp space, silent, shaken, and incomplete. In the high chamber on Viridian Prime, Voron Tel stood motionless. Around him, the Council muttered, argued, and debated. Some demanded retribution. Others warned against further escalation. But Voron said nothing. He stared at the final transmission from Earth, 4 words sent in every Coalition dialect. Unsolvable variable. Stand down. He turned off the screen. For the first time in over 2 centuries, the High Chancellor had no answer. Back on Earth, the battle was over. The skies cleared. Systems slowly stabilized. But nothing returned to how it was. Earth's defenses were no longer neat, centralized, or orderly. They were alive in a new way, flexible, untamed, and ready. Alex stood once more in the observation deck of New Geneva, staring into the night. They came expecting to control us, he said quietly. Ray stood beside him. They didn't plan for chaos, she added. No, Alex said. Because they couldn't. We're the variable they can't solve. The skies above Earth were clear. Not just visually, but quiet in a way the world hadn't known in years. No patrol drones buzzing overhead. No Coalition surveillance grids spinning in low orbit. No override signals hidden beneath the silence of space. All that was gone now. New Geneva, once alive with tension and alarms, now pulsed with calm purpose. Deep beneath its surface, the command core was stable. Not perfect. Not polished. but alive like the people who ran it. Commander Alex Voss stood in the center of the chamber, reading final system reports. The Coalition fleet had fully withdrawn. All communications from Viridian Prime had ceased. Earth's satellites, though scarred by the override attempts, were back online, reconnected by the adaptive code of Project Disorder. Every system was still irregular, a little unpredictable, but that was the point. They had survived by becoming what the Council feared most, uncontrollable. Lieutenant Ray Harlow stepped beside him, a data pad in hand. "We've restored 85% of our defense net," she reported. "Still no new signals from Coalition space. No threats. No transmissions. Not even a warning." Alex nodded slowly. "They won't speak to us. They lost. And they don't know how to admit it." Dr. Mira Elon approached from the far side of the room, her lab coat stained with long hours of work. Her eyes were tired, but focused. "The code we unleashed, it's stable now," she said. "It's not just a virus anymore. It's a living system. Decentralized. Adaptive. Learning on its own." Alex turned to her. "Can we control it?" She shook her head. "Not completely. We can guide it. Influence it. But not command it directly." "Good," Alex replied. "We don't want something the Council can hijack again. We let it grow, just like we do." There was a brief silence between them, not out of fear, but reflection. Everyone in the room understood what they had done. Earth was no longer just defending itself. It had become something new, unpredictable by design. Later that night, Alex stood alone on the roof of the New Geneva Command Tower. The sky stretched wide and quiet above him. Stars blinked in their distant places. Somewhere among them, the Council watched. Maybe regrouping. Maybe calculating. Maybe still trying to make sense of how their plan had failed. But they wouldn't find answers. Because Earth hadn't followed any plan. Footsteps approached. Ray stepped beside him, her breath visible in the cool air. "Feels strange," she said, "after everything." Just silence. Alex nodded. "That's what survival sounds like." "Do you think they'll come back?" "They might," he said. "But they'll never come the same way again. Not after this." She looked up at the stars. "So what now?" Alex took a deep breath, eyes still fixed on the sky. "We rebuild," he said. "We train. We prepare for what we can't see coming. Because that's who we are." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small device. A transmitter, unlinked from any grid, sending only a single message into deep space. No code, no encryption, just a short, plain statement for anyone listening. He activated it and spoke. "To the Council, to any who plan and scheme. We don't run on order. We are chaos. We are Earth. And we're still here." He let the message send, then turned it off. No reply was needed. The stars didn't blink in response. The wind didn't shift. But Earth, wounded, unpredictable, defiant, stood free once again. And this time, it would remain that way on its own terms.